Today on Lake Commandos.
You tell me they're post-spawn now?
Early spring in the Great Lakes can only mean one thing to a Lake Commando: giant, hungry walleyes.
This is what you come to the Great Lakes for.
I just lost that one.
When you've got big water and big fish, it can only mean one thing.
I'm just feeling really out of my element right now.
It's time to go commando.
Let me go ahead and beat Steve on his own routine.
I love fishing new water. The challenge is always the same. Find fish, trigger strikes. Ooh, that's a big fish. But what I really love is beating the other guy. I got a fish. This is Lake Commandos.
When you search for unfamiliar waters to go commando, sometimes it's as tough to find the ramp as it is to find the fish.
Find the nearest public access.
Okay, I found this on the web.
Oh, here's another launch down here. Keep going. This one's got to be open.
But when the lake you're looking for is one of the largest freshwater lakes in the world, that really shouldn't be a problem.
Are you sure we're not going to some guy's factory here?
I'm not 100% sure. This is the only boat ramp I can see that looks halfway decent that might be open.
Commandos Steve Pennaz and Ben Royce are on the west shore of Lake Michigan's massive Green Bay. And when they do finally find the ramp, their mission will be to locate and catch big migratory post-spawn walleyes.
Boat landing. Ah, look at this! We found a ramp.
This is a big win, actually, already. I feel like I won.
All right, you get one fish for this.
Green Bay is a legendary walleye producing factory. And in the spring of the year, millions of fish move into shallow waters or into the dozens of rivers flowing into the bay to spawn. Today, the Commandos are working an area along the bay's western shore near the Wisconsin-Michigan border and the mouth of the Menominee River. Habitat and cover is limited, with the fish relating to current seams and river channel breaks. There is some rock and rubble in the form of riprap, as well as man-made breakwalls. Food is key for these post-spawn fish, and the forage base is typical of a Great Lakes fishery, with the invasive goby topping the walleye menu. Conditions to start the day are typical of an early spring outing, with water temps in the low to mid-40s, but air temps in the low to mid-30s, steady winds out of the northeast, overcast skies, and a cold rain. Those are the conditions the Lake Commandos are facing, and we're about to find out their plan of attack. But we also want to know how you would fish it, so let us know online.
Today I'm going to be using a 4-inch gulp minnow. I'm going to start off with Fire Tiger, maybe switch it up to a chartreuse and white. I'm going to be doing this presentation on a 7-foot 6-inch medium action Abu Garcia Veracity rod coupled with a Revo Premier spinning reel. The Revo has got 8-pound test nanofill line, very sensitive. It also has a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader, about a 4 to 5 foot leader. And I think that this is going to be really, really good, sensitive rig to go ahead and put Steve in his place.
Hey, these walleyes have already moved out of the river. They're out in the river mouth from what we're hearing from everybody we talked to at the ramp. I want to cover a lot of water today. Rather than troll, I'm going to throw some metal. This is a Johnson Thin Fisher that it's a blade bait. When you cast out, it sinks to the bottom like a rock, and you lift it up with little short rips, and it goes bloop, bloop. It almost kind of burps down there, triggers these fish. I'm gonna go with silver. We might try different colors. I've got it on a 10-pound, 100% fluorocarbon leader. I want the fluorocarbon because it's a little bit stiffer than some of the braids and it won't get tangled up in the hooks, but I'm gonna be throwing it on nanofill. This is 10-pound green nanofill. I'm throwing it on a 6'9" medium lake Abu Garcia Veritas rod. This is a size 20 Abu Garcia Premier. Super smooth drag on this reel, and it's a good light combo that can fish all day. And this is the rig I'm going to use to put young Ben down today. Well, as you can see, we're out and actually in the bay itself. We're not in the river. We're right outside of the river mouth, and Ben's got control of the boat for the first couple hours. He wants to throw jigs out in this deeper water. We're finding lots of fish. Right now, there's just gobs of fish underneath us here. There's a current line that comes out of the harbor here, and these fish are stacking up right along the edge of this thing. That wind is cold coming off this lake.
The wind's just light, just blowing right into your face. There we go.
Fish?
Yep.
Ah! That means you're ahead of me. Looks like a good one, Ben.
Feels like a good one. Probably pretty standard for right here. These Great Lakes walleyes are huge.
Nice job, dude. Look at that.
This guy smashed it. This is a typical Great Lakes male, you know, 21, 22, 23 inches. That's your standard male here. The fish are just a lot bigger.
Less than 5 minutes into the day, and the young gun, Ben Royce, has the lead. But if the cold weather action stays this hot, this is going to be one wild walleye war.
We got wind moving this way, current going this way, and it's hard to stay on bottom.
Lake Commandos is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life, Trilene, Anglers Trust Berkeley Trilene, Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time, Spider Wire, nothing gets away, Fish Hound, real-time fishing reports, and by Garmin, the clearest scanning sonar images on the water. The Lake Commandos are on Green Bay, locked in a little hand-to-hand combat with some giant post-spawn walleyes. Ben Royce just grabbed an early lead with the first fish of the day. But success on the water is nothing new for Ben. As the marketing and pro staff coordinator for Plano Synergy Holdings, he's responsible for some of the biggest brands in the fishing industry, including Plano and Freybill, and he spends dozens of days a year on the water with some of the best anglers in the business. And Ben already has one Commando win under his belt this season. A few weeks back, he gave Steve a sound beating on some small river smallmouth. The question is, can he do it again?
Let's try just jigging out here now that we're kind of towards that current line now. Let's try jigging out here. Like I said, you got that channel, that main channel that's kind of runs straight out. You can see the angle of the channel here, and it just runs straight out.
He hit it on the drop. Just picked it up and he was there. A heavy fish. Ooh, look at a stud.
There we go. Nice. Well, so far you got size.
Oh, that's a bruiser. Look at that thing. Did he want that bait or what? Chartreuse. Let me show you what we're using. We're not using live bait at all. We got it's a 4-inch ribworm. Chartreuse head, 3/8 ounce, purple chartreuse body. Nice fish.
It's snowing, by the way. Just letting everybody know that
Yeah,
right now.
hitting the... That's not snow, it's ice pellets.
Ice pellets. There we go. You know, Steve just got done catching that fish, and I keyed us right back in. I got us right back into that seam. And there's a very, very key presentation that we're keying in on right here is that we're casting upstream a little bit in the current. These are the ones we're talking about.
That's a big fish. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. There.
That.
A stud.
This is what you come to the Great Lakes for, is average fish like this. Average fish like this. You know what?
That gulp is gone.
Just gone. Just gone. Beautiful, beautiful. 4-inch gulp minnow. These walleyes do it every single time. Go ahead and get her back in the water here. Oh, yeah.
Ben's jig and soft plastic pattern is putting quality fish in the boat, and it's going to be tough for Steve to keep it close before they make the switch to blade baits.
Marine engines live a tough life. One of the most important procedures you can add to your maintenance program is freshwater flushing. Regular flushing of your motor's cooling system helps prevent corrosion as well as debris from damaging your engine. This is especially true in salt water, but it's also true in many freshwater lakes and rivers. Yamaha makes flushing simple by the addition of these external couplers. You just attach it to your garden hose, turn the water on, and let it run for about 10 to 15 minutes. Consult your owner's manual or your local dealer if you have questions on how to flush your own outboard. When it comes to achieving peak performance, maintenance matters.
This segment is brought to you by Yeti Coolers. Yeti, wildly stronger, keep ice longer. On the west shore of Green Bay, Steve Pennaz is getting schooled by young gun Ben Royce, who has control of the boat and the competition.
Give him the berries.
You're gonna have to give me a gulp. I got the wrong color.
I have to give you a gulp? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, if you want to use my boat.
Again, just destroyed that gulp.
Yeah, he ate it. Look at that.
There we go.
I can't believe the average size here, dude.
They are big. They are big. But you know what? Is that in a lot of places you can find walleyes that are like this at this time of year. Pretty fish.
Yeah, nice. Just a football.
Oh yeah.
One of the toughest things to do is give up control of the boat, especially when you're used to it. And especially when the angler's fishing in a way that you're not used to or you might not agree with. The hard thing is when you're not fishing your game, you're not fishing well.
Yeah.
And I'm not fishing well right now.
Everybody fishes differently. It's always good to learn. You can always learn from everybody. I mean, I can even learn from a guy like you.
Oh, you're talking smack. I was more than a little off my game today. It's hard for me to fish from the back of the boat. I missed the control. So it didn't surprise me that Ben went up quickly. Honestly, when his 2 hours were up, I felt fortunate to be down only a couple of fish. And I was fired up to start fishing blades, which are deadly on spring walleye. There's truly something about confidence. When you have it, it just seems like the fish know it and start to cooperate. Oh yeah. 2 minutes on the blade, get the net. Right there, baby. Would you net him? 2 minutes on the blade, 2 minutes.
2 minutes, that did not take long
And
at
that's
all.
the best eating one that we got so far.
It is.
When we switched, I got a bite within literally 2 or 3 minutes. And I thought, we're on the right pattern. Now it's a matter of really tweaking the baits. Young man, would you throw that in the live well for me?
Not a problem.
Ben got a fish on a 1/4 ounce. I was using a 1/2 ounce. So I picked up a second rod. I've had a 1/4 ounce one and I had a 1/2 ounce on the other. Here's a good one. On the small green one. That's a stud.
Nice.
Yes.
Good work, man. Nice fish.
Oh man, these are beautiful fish.
Solid.
Look at that. And they're eating these blades, baby. They're eating these blades. You just don't catch fish like this that often. That is one gorgeous walleye. Look at that. If you take anything away from today's commando battle, it should be an understanding of just how important confidence is on the water. With 2 Johnson thin fishers tied on and fishing vertically, I was in my element and able to focus on those little things that make fish bite. Oh, and I got one right there on the 1/2 ounce. Yes! A lot of good eating in there right now. For Ben, it was a completely different story.
I'm just feeling really out of my element right now. Kind of like Steve was earlier.
Ben never gave up today. He was frustrated, he was hard, but he fished and fished and fished. And every time I think he was gonna break his back with 2 or 3 fish in the lead, oh man, that's a monster.
That is nice. Oh yeah, good catch too. Good net job.
There you go.
It appears it was only a matter of time before Ben figured the blade bait bite out. And with the weather clearing and the wind laying down, this walleye battle is far from over. Lake Commandos is brought to you by Yeti Coolers, wildly stronger, keep ice longer. Johnson Fishing. Yamaha Marine, reliability starts here. Not too kinky, no kinks ever. Fraybill, trusted gear since 1938. And by Plano, protect your passion.
I gotta admit, I'm having an absolute ball right now. And these harbor mouse, water temp here, 45 degrees in the lake, and I look and there's ice all over the bay behind us here. So this is the warmest water in the system, which is always key in the spring.
This fish
Does not count.
does not count, okay? This is the second fish that does not count.
Well, if you quit snagging them, there's one.
Oh my word.
Put that away and let's get the net. Look at that.
That is awesome.
Nice. Where is the bait?
I don't know. So now you go back up to +3,
Yep.
even though it should be by 1.
What? Not my fault you're snagging them?
As the weather continued to clear, I honed both location and presentation while Ben continued to struggle. He was in a tough spot, down by 3 fish and missing bites because he had broken a tine off his lead treble. Does he stop fishing and replace the hook or continue fishing? With time running out, there really was no right or wrong answer. Until I got the bite I needed to seal the deal.
Oh, Ben, I got a fish. Oh,
man.
This might be bottom. No, this is a fish. Holy cow.
Gosh.
Oh, I can't move him. I thought I had bottom. Come on out of there. Yeah. Oh, God, that's a giant.
Wow.
Oh, dude, that's a big fish.
That's a giant.
Look at that walleye. That is a tank. Look at that.
Beautiful fish.
There just aren't that many places where you can spend a day on the water and catch so many trophy walleyes. Clearly, the fish in Green Bay eat extremely well, and in spring, it's one of those places that takes going commando to a whole new level. We had a couple of great lessons reinforced today. The first was that even when there's very little structure available, fish still seek out edges. In this case, the river current provided that edge and really concentrated the fish. Secondly, I simply can't overstate the importance of fishing with confidence. I was lost with Ben's presentation this morning, and he was on fire. But when we switched to vertical blade baits, Ben struggled while I felt right at home and caught a bunch of fish. Our top performing bait today was the Johnson Thin Fisher in both 1/4 and 1/2 ounce, with Fire Tiger getting the most bite, but the biggest fish coming on silver.
We had an awesome day,
Yeah, we did.
but this was the dagger. This was the dagger.
That was the dagger.
Oh, God, look at that thing.
And I'm not even upset about it.
What a fun day, though.
It was a great day. It was a great day. It was a lot of
Gulp
fun.
and blades both worked, and it was just a fun day. But
It was.
I mean, to end it on a 10,
That's a great fish.
it's a great fish.
Here's your chance to go commando and win what works. Log on to our Facebook page and enter our free Win What Works sweepstakes. Every week, we'll pick one lucky winner and send them the same baits we used in that week's Lake Commandos mission. So enter today and go commando.
You know, going commando is not easy. It is going to a completely different body of water, having a big challenge in front of you, and needing to be able to produce right away and produce good results. That is a lot of fun for me. It was a big challenge today. I learned a lot, and that's why I love going commando.
I'm Captain George Mitchell. This is Coastal Chaos. It's times like this I really appreciate my Furuno AIS receiver. Just like aircraft, commercial boats are required to have a transponder that's continually updating their position. Now I've got a receiver and it allows me to continually track them wherever they go. Currently, any commercial vessel over 20 meters is supposed to be transmitting. This is killer for me come fall when we're hunting shrimp boats. Again, point, click, info, boom. It's more than likely a shrimper because he's headed in the same direction slowly. Let's go take a look. I've got a favorite snapper rig out here in the Delta, West Delta 73. I got my plotter on it, my go-to. It's 15 miles away, but I see that there's an AIS icon on it. I want to tap on that icon. Info page will come up. I see it's the Odyssey Defender. This is all the status that's going on with that ship there. And no, there's nothing going on. There's nothing major to worry about. No ROV, no dive operation. We're good to go. The beauty of the AIS is should there be something that we have to avoid, it would notify us, therefore saving us that long 15-mile run all for nothing. Whenever I'm heading way offshore, I always make contact with any commercial boats that are close to the rig we're going to fish. Not only do I want to see if there's anything to avoid, but sometimes they'll even give me good fishing information. Coastal Chaos, tips for serious saltwater anglers.